back to Chai Chat with Lavina. We're discussing how vulnerable is the threat, or how vulnerable we are vis-a-vis non-state actors like terrorists to get their hands on nuclear weapons, as the whole world is trying to get. Each country, some way or the other, is trying to be nuclear state. How vulnerable are we? How imminent is this threat?
Could I just add to? I mean,
yes,
Humphrey
please.
Has said, and I believe you, that the most dangerous source of nuclear materials would be Russia or North Korea. But there's a very strong impression in the West that, as far as training and know-how and support for these terrorist groups, it seems to be hard to beat Pakistan. I don't know. I mean, that is an impression created in the West.
Let's all look at Pervez. Let's everybody look at Pervez.
Well, the government response is, the government of Pakistan's response is that our nuclear weapons are absolutely safe and that no external agency can possibly get hold of any information or materials from the Strategic Plans Division, which is the custodian of Pakistan's nuclear assets. And I'm inclined to believe that they would not share materials or information with terrorist groups. The reason is that those groups, terrorist groups, who are extreme Islamists, have indeed the state of Pakistan within their gun sights. The Pakistan army has lost more men in its fight against extremists than it has in all the wars against India. The Pakistan army today is being brutally savaged by the extremists, which you could say at one time it had helped and perhaps armed as well. But that's no longer true anymore. This doesn't mean that I am now confident that nuclear technology or materials will not leak out, but it will be in spite of all that the government and the army does.
But do you agree Pakistan is not as dangerous, Humphrey?
No, I'm afraid it's all very well saying we've learnt lessons and we're better, but actually those lessons cost the world a lot. And A.Q. Khan is the biggest proliferator that the world has seen. Libya, North Korea, Iran, all these have got their nuclear weapons because of him. And I have a note here in front of me that just a few days ago he was giving a luncheon speech where he says, without my services, Pakistan would never have been the first Muslim nuclear nation, and that we can bomb Delhi in 5 minutes because we are such a powerful nation. But if you look at Pakistan now and track it from its independence until now, what is this country? I don't actually think that Pakistan knows what it is, because it keeps changing from one to the other to the other. So it has not done well. It's lost, it lost Bangladesh. It's losing its war on terror in that the place is racked with terrorism. It's racked with conflict that wasn't there before. The people are not getting any richer. This military albatross of nuclear weapons and the boots on the ground and the guns are just dragging it down. And in my view, I think that it has to come clean with itself. Every Pakistani says, who are we? What are we? What do we want?
Yeah, but let's first get the facts right on proliferation. What you say is absolutely true, that A.Q. Khan sold centrifuges and uranium hexafluoride gas.
And he's giving lunchtime speeches in Islamabad about what a wonderful thing that was to do.
Probably that's a good audience.
He's yesterday's story. We've got to think about today.
Well,
and also the future. And also going back to the forum we had today, it was interesting, Joshi was saying that you don't hear very much about the Pakistan nuclear establishment. We don't know what's going on. That's a good sign, because that shows the nuclear facilities are closed. even the intelligence agencies, foreign intelligence agencies, say they have difficulty accessing that information.
So that's a good sign, is it?
It's a good sign because it means it's secure.
Is it possible to make the world nuclear free now? Nuclear disarmament?
But the question now is, when we talk about the countries who like to be the source of nuclear technology that can be transferred, we would have thought one of those would be even more dangerous than Pakistan would be North Korea. And one would have thought in the present scenario, if people were desperate for nuclear technology, they could have easily gone to North Korea, offered money, and got it back now. So why haven't that happened?
Let me get the conversation back to the nuclear disarmament and then end this. Do you think that's possible in the world today? No?
No, it's
No.
not possible because...
And is it advisable?
Just look at India and Pakistan. Just look at India and Pakistan. Neither of them are going to give up the nuclear weapons.
Is it just India and Pakistan or everyone else as well?
Look at Israel. Look at the UK. Look at the US. Look at North Korea. No one is willing
Advisable?
No one's willing to.
No, I definitely. I mean,
advisable, but no
if you look at Kazakhstan, that gave up its nuclear weapons, it's booming. Ukraine possibly regrets it, but actually there wasn't a nuclear war when that happened. I think the developing world countries that have got nuclear weapons, those nuclear weapons have held them back because it's an albatross around them. Those that have abandoned them and put a higher trust in society are the ones that tend to move forward more. I mean, Kazakhstan is a great example, is that it could have been a sort of rogue nuclear power now being bombed by all sides.
Yeah, but it's not an international player.
Iraq
Kazakhstan's-
wasn't an international
Kazakhstan's
player.
not, Iraq was more of an international player than Kazakhstan.
Only because it had nuclear weapons, because they thought it was getting nuclear weapons.
Kazakhstan I don't think is even a sophisticated, it's not a sophisticated structure, state structure, even compared to Iraq, even under Saddam Hussein. I don't think you can compare. That's why it happened with Kazakhstan, because they haven't got that ability, and they're susceptible to international pressure as well.
What about Ukraine?
Ukraine is
Well, South Africa could give it
South
up
Africa gave up,
because it was not in any real conflict with its neighbors. That's what made all the difference.
And that's where actually the buck stops when it comes to India and Pakistan and spreading it all across the world. But we are not in an imminent threat as yet, is it? With the security of the nuclear world is okay-ish.
we're safe.
We're safer.
Time being, we're safe.
Thank you very, very much, and sorry to have digressed for about 4 minutes, I think, in the world of thrill of nuclear bombs. But it's good. It's very relieving to see that possibly this whole dirty bomb and non-state actors getting access to nuclear bombs is still possibly not there. Yet some people believe that the world going nuclear has made it safer, while others don't really think so. But what we do understand that at this stage, nuclear disarmament definitely doesn't seem to be an answer or even possible. But yes, at the moment, as far as the non-state actors are concerned, the ISIS of the world are concerned, the nuclear weapons have not yet reached them, so we should be happy and safe. Now, be safe and join me on Chai Chat next week as well. If you want to keep the conversation on with me, please do Twitter me at Lavina Tandon, or you can write to me on chaiChat@ashtak.com. Thank you for joining us again, and take care. God bless. See you next week.